Okay, according to YouTube, I should be live now. I've got my game up, I've got my streaming software up, I'm getting myself positioned, mic repositioned, and good to go. Apparently I'm 50% complete with my taxidermy already. Taxidermy is dead stuff. Taxonomy? Taxonomy, yes, that is the correct word. Today's drink is cherry pomegranate. And where I left off was going to the drop-off. Are you back with me? We are 20 seconds from the ocean floor. Good. I was getting lonely in here. We are descending fast. The drop is huge, 1.5 kilometers down. Let's stay focused. We have no data on this zone of the ocean. Focused is misspelled. The light of Gliese 667C's CC's 3 stars barely makes it this deep. I've got my headlamps on. You'll have to be my eyes. I want to work my way along the slope to the northeast. We are looking for any traces of Minae or the ROVs she sent down here. Let's get to it. Ping. Tangled Veil. These silken creatures are almost transparent apart from these lights. What are they? These drifting veils of material appear to be creatures of some kind. They are pulsing faintly with pinpricks of light. In the headlamps of the suit, I can occasionally see a vein-like texture to the surface of these veils. What substances sustain them? The veils are gathered in groups which I am calling tangles. They seem to be intentional formations, but for what purpose? The lights the veils produce come directly from beneath their skin. They shift from transparent to light-emitting in undulating waves. Though tangled and without any clear sensory organs, these creatures seem to have a strong control over their position in the water. So apparently, traveling through one of these veil things, tangled veils, saps my power. Yeah. So it's like a maze. Fantastic. Ooh, I have to cross over there to get the sample. I'm naming these strange creatures snare veils. They are such beautiful traps. This gives me a bunch of oxygen. This gives me a little oxygen. This gives me a fair bit of power. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay. Why didn't Minae tell anyone about this place? The life here. It's the biggest discovery in human history. Do you think she's trying to protect it? Yes, clearly that is the only possible explanation. But then why bring me here? Maybe she expects me to keep her secrets too. She always had her secrets, but this feels bigger than that. This debris. It's one of Minae's ROVs. Wait, to my left, is that... Human! It's her! She's here. She's alive. We are reading life signs, and she's breathing. That can't be right. How long has she been here, lying in the silt? We have to bring her back to the base, but I don't... Okay, focus, Ellery. What do? We can use the ROV to boost our signal to the base and send for the drone. Then we can start the ascent. Get me back to the ROV debris and hook us up with a terminal. Okay, we are synced. Call the drone now. We need to get her out of here. That was a short map. Guess I could have done that in like 15 minutes last week. You're back. I need to talk. I'm on the medical level. She is totally unresponsive. I don't know what to do. I don't even understand how she is alive. I keep going back to the image of her, blue, silent, staring out of the silt. A thin stream of bubbles flickering from her mouth. How long has she been there? The pressure alone should have crushed her at that depth. This doesn't make sense. But she is alive. I need to talk to her, but nothing. I want to understand. I want to know what is going on here. I haven't seen her in years, not since she left, and now here she is. Do you ever imagine all the things you are going to say to a person when you see them again? I'm an AI. No, I don't. I wanted to scream at her, to whisper to her, to tell her I came here for her. I don't know why I did, but I did. I think it's because I had to hope for something to change, for there to be an explanation. For those months we spent together to mean something again. Sorry, I'm not making any sense. This makes twice. 2 times she's turned my life upside down. At least this time I knew what I was signing myself up for. It's not like I had anywhere else to be. The further I am from that dying planet, the better. What comes next? We keep going. She was looking for something out here, something important enough to leave her like this. It's our turn to take that forward, to find that explanation. I think she built that lab in the Bloom to study those mineral skeletons. Artificers, she called them. But something was leading her deeper, beyond the drop-off. Let's start with those ROVs she sent out. Maybe they found something we didn't. I'll mark their last known positions on the dive map, and I'll be here until you are ready to go. You go there, and then I go to the lab. Distributed bodies. Wow. Conversation with my cat. Meow. 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 Now you can hear the other half of the conversation. Personal log. She is alive. I never thought I would see her again, not after she sliced the core from the base on Kepler 62F and took the shuttle to God knows where. I spent weeks slowly freezing in that base, waiting for the Baikal team to come get me. After that, it all fell apart. There was never any life on Kepler 62F. Minae had faked the whole thing. She wanted the data core she knew Baikal would provide when she gave them evidence of first contact. Baikal blamed me, and my work as a consulting biologist collapsed. I limped back to Earth to take a post-grad position on that dying planet. There is little need for marine biologists in a place where the only oceanic life is kept in tourist-choked reserves. That's where I stayed, watching the endless exodus of humans with enough money to leave, looking out across the dead ocean at the pinpricks of their shuttle's rocket flares. Until Minae called me here. I should blame her for everything, but I just want to know why. Perhaps now, if she ever wakes up, I can ask her. Daily drink is cherry pomegranate. Do I go left or right? We're gonna start with right. Greetings, Alec. So I found Minae, the missing scientist. She was here in the bottom of the chasm or the abyss or whatever this the drop off. That's what it was called. There's no scientific reason how she's still alive. We're very puzzled about it, but she is now in the med bay of the base. And I am continuing my search for more of her ROVs to gather more data. Brine pools. The methane seeps here must be forming them. The pools themselves will be toxic and also anoxic. Let's navigate carefully. They are beautiful, fog-skinned puddles sunk into the seabed, but they are dangerous. Creature tracks? Don't mind if I do. Look, creatures! Crab-like creature. These crawling creatures seem to keep to themselves. Let's keep track of where we find them. I'm doing pretty good. Bristling fronds. These swaying fronds, are they a colony or a single creature? I'll start recording my observations. These feathery fronds are growing along the edge of the brine, waving their matted, leaf-like limbs through the water. Each of the many limbs of these branching creatures is carefully dipped into the brine pools, one by one, before pulling back. Occasionally, this creature will sweep its limbs back into the hairy mass of its body before thrusting them out again. What is it doing? And more information about the crab-like creature. This crab-like creature is moving slowly across the seafloor, with a large translucent crest protruding from its back. I want to swim down this way. Maybe I can get a data sample. I can't, because this isn't a sampling point. But I can find another crab-like creature. On closer inspection, the large translucent crest appears to be a gas-filled organ or bubble of some kind, rising from a slit in the shell. This is a sample candidate. A mucus bubble. The thick hairs of each frond seem to be mottled with a reddish substance. Does it grow there amongst the hairs? How is the game audio balance? It feels like it's starting to get a lot louder to me. Brine mat. When a limb is removed from the brine, the red substance matted into the hair seems to glow brighter, shifting in color. Greetings, Maltonio. I can't guess. Bristling fronds. It seems that the substance caked into these creatures' hair is reacting to the brine somehow. Perhaps it is helping them feed. You did get another kitty! Parker has a friend? Well, before I say Parker has a friend, how are they getting along? These wandering creatures noisily chew away at the rock and silt of the ocean floor, filtering it for nutrients, perhaps? I'll log these creatures as brine eaters. You can take a look at my observations back at base. Branching feathery fronds which grow alongside brine pools, carefully dipping their matted and stained limbs in and out of the brine. This brine lake is vast. I can't see the other side. What might be hiding within its toxic fog? Do you think life might survive out there? Sure. It's true that this planet has shifted my ideas about what is survivable. Perhaps there is something out there, waiting to be discovered. Different individuals of this species seem to have varying sizes of bubbles on their backs. Are they carrying oxygen in there? I knew you were keeping the shelter's name for him, but you didn't mention what the shelter had named him. These aren't seat pools. Something impacted the seafloor here. Meteors? But how would they get so deep? Or could some creature have left these? One of Minae's ROVs. It looks like this one was disabled by the brine. The supplies Minae equipped it with are still intact, though. We can resupply. Open the terminal and let's see what this little guy found down there. Oh wow, you found something big, didn't you, little guy? It looks like... Is that a wreck? Incredible! The debris field stretches all the way northwest from here. It must have been large, a freighter or a research vessel. We have to go see this thing. Come on, we can head back to base after. Here's the edge of the debris trail. Something sank here, and by the spread of debris, exploded. It has been here for years, decades. The metal is corroded to little more than a frame. That means Minae wasn't the first person to come here. Something big happened here, something no one was meant to find. Creature. How can these creatures survive out here among the brine? I'll start keeping notes on their behavior. This tall crab-like creature towers above the brine pool. An unusual assortment of rocks, shells, and bones adorn its back. Each one of these shelled creatures seems to have its own territorial loop, an area of seafloor it automatically searches through. What are these petal-shaped creatures? They only grow around the glowing fans. Let's start logging data. Pale petals. Trefoil petals, which gather around the glowing fans of the deep, they angle themselves toward the light like expectant children. Like the fans found... Oh, nope. These fans seem to play a central role in the ecosystem here. I'm going to start recording data. Like the fans found in the bloom, these creatures are fan-shaped filter feeders. However, these variants glow with a cold fire. And since all of my sample spaces are full, it's time for me to request retrieval. Hi, baby girl. Nope, you don't want to settle down? Okay. I do not still have that roommate. She moved out several months ago. Milo moved out several months before that. So Geisha now has the run of the apartment again. Not that she ever spends much time in a room that I'm not in. Unless, of course, I'm not here, in which case she'll... I don't know what she does when I'm not here, because I'm not here to see it! But, generally, if I'm home, I'm in my room, and if I'm in my room, she's gonna be in my room with me, because she's social like that. Yeah? Come here, kitty. Settle down. Geisha, I cannot see with you standing in front of my monitor. And yet you don't seem to care. Okay, I'm going across the brine lake. At least, I'm going to attempt going across the brine lake. Because I have a feeling that there is a special sample candidate on the other side. Well, there's more Stilt Lake stones anyway. I'm seeing this creature take dead remains from the brine pool and decorate itself with them. Trophies of shell and bone. Oh yeah, lots of sample candidates everywhere. It is glorious. I'll go ahead and use one of these to replenish my power. More creatures! Significantly taller than the Bloom's fans, these creatures seem to favor the rocky substrate of the ocean floor's basalt pillars. Each of the wide petals has patterns of stomata and stamen across its surface, and from these, some kind of pollen is drifting out in clumps. New creature! These pale, pulsing creatures seem so passive. I'm going to start taking notes on them. Ovoid creature. These ovoid creatures sit pulsing at the edge of the deep oasis. They are glassy and soft, like partially boiled shellless eggs. We are entering the main body of the wreck now. It's little more than a husk. It is impossible to tell anything from these rusted plates. Whose ship was this? The local ecosystem looks to have been scraping away at this thing for decades. Nothing much left for us. When close to these creatures, you can feel the pull of their strong filtering action as they absorb water and push it through their bodies. A sealed locker? Look, a still sealed dive suit locker. Let's see if we can get it open. Okay, I think I can lever... Yes, it's open. But there's not a lot here. Wait, this cutting torch looked clean enough. With little work, this could be salvaged. Is this Bical tech? Hard to tell. Looks compatible with the suit, though. I'll stow it and see what I can do with it when we get back to base. Upgrade acquired! These creatures seem to produce small branching buds in the same way that a hydra grows a clone of itself in order to reproduce. At this creature's interior sits a sphere, surrounded by a reflective membrane, bathed in light from the transparent sections in its body. A shelled I'd like to call these lung crests. Those bubbles they carry on their backs are so cumbersome. A shelled, crab-like creature which scavenges the ocean floor in search of nutrients, carries a mucus-lined bubble on its back. None of this adds up. If there's a wreck here, then there were people. And if there were people, well, why doesn't everyone know about this place, about its incredible life? We've spent centuries looking for life outside of Earth and found nothing. I've seen so many dead planets, so many barren worlds. I've certified each of them clear of life, just so an exoplanet extraction corp can pick them clean for maximum profit. Strip mine them for the resources our ever-expanding species needs. This place is impossible, one in millions, and yet it is already marked by our greedy fingerprints. Who brought this ship here? This has to be the history Minae wanted to uncover. Let's head back to base. There's more to find, I'm sure of it. I am not ready to go yet. But apparently I'm not going that way. And that is why I wasn't ready to go yet. I will head back to base at this point. Something has happened. Come to medical now. Minae is growing. I haven't dared go in. I can't make sense of the readouts. Her vitals are unreadable, but she is still alive. Whatever kept her alive on the slopes is changing her somehow. I've been sat here, watching her. I don't know what to do. I've been sitting here. Do you think she's in pain? I hope so. She doesn't seem to be suffering, but then I don't know what this is. There are procedures. Every base stack is equipped with quarantine systems. I can authorize the lab to be purged. End it now. Is that still Minae? I can't... What do you think? Should I authorize the purge? No, you're right. That's Minae. I didn't come all this way just to... We need to monitor her, to try to understand what is happening here. Thank you. I won't give up on her. I won't be afraid of what I don't understand. We can find the answers together. Okay, we can do this. I've hooked up that cutting torch from the debris field. I hope it helps. I need some answers. Let's find that other ROV. Is gone, and she's left behind one heck of a mess. This base is falling apart, cannibalized to build way stations out in the ocean. The communications... Oh, that's log 1. Is Minae still Minae? What has this place done to her? I have barely been able to leave the medical level, though I dare not enter the surgery. Did she do this by choice? For those few months on Kepler 62F, it was clear that Minae was struggling with something. We never spoke about it, but behind her intensity laid a frenzied self-doubt. She never talked about her family. All I knew is that she was a rare spacer, born out in the black on some orbital military base. Some days she wouldn't leave the berth, just curled up so small, staring silently out. Would she do this on purpose? Open up her suit and willingly slip into the deep? I don't suppose it matters now. All I can do is monitor her. At least I'm not alone. And now that I have a cutting torch, I can get more samples! Mwahahaha! I'm gonna go to this location and hope that my alternate path has opened up. Otherwise, I have to do a lot of diving in the brine and navigation. A lot of navigation through the brine. The brine, the bloom. It still hasn't appeared. Okay. Then this will be a super short dive. Girl, it'd be really nice if you would stop knocking stuff off my desk! What are we doing out here? Picking through the remains of the bloom? No more wondering. We should be heading deeper. That's where the answers lie. Call on the drone and let's find that final ROV. Excuse me? That's not very nice. It won't let me? Fine. Pouting face. Geisha, Did you eat the rest of your food, and is that why you're being so obnoxious? No, you still have a few bites left. So initially, I went right. This time, I'm going left. With new creatures! It is a complex creature! What is that? It looks like a whole menagerie of creatures, caught in a silken net. A mass of tentacles and growths unlike anything I've seen. It's difficult to understand the anatomy of these creatures by just looking. More veils. We need to be careful. There has to be a way to find the path through. I will go this way then and see what's up here. Occasionally, this creature stops and unfolds its tentacles in chambers to cover a broad area of water. Is it hunting? I'm calling these cryptic creatures water bulbs. Let's see what we can uncover about them back at the lab. Partially transparent, egg-shaped creatures which feed by filtering water. A strange sphere sits inside their iridescent interior. Pale petals. On closer inspection, these petals are solid growths, not fragile objects. They sit like thin tree stumps in the sand, each of them on its own wide stalk. Unlike the bloom's fans, these deep water variants are covered with a translucent sheath of mucus, which protects their delicate spines. I'm going to name these cold fire bathers. They seem to be strongly linked to the light of these fans. These wide petal-shaped plants gather in groups and glow in the light of deep-sea fans. Their pollen fills the water around each stem. Oh, look, more tangled veils. No wonder Minae's ROV has never returned. These veils are everywhere. Like on Earth, they must rely on predation to survive this deep, where little sunlight reaches. Ooh. Fast creature! These creatures are so fast! Their dark coloring makes them hard to see, but let's keep track of them. I'll call these cold-fire fans, after those mesmerizing flame-like pulses. Filter-feeding fans that beneath a mucus sheath pulse with warm light, often surrounded by other creatures benefiting from their glow. Almost missed a sample candidate. A better look at these creatures show they are swimming with their rear legs while using their tails to propel them somehow. These creatures seem to follow the same routes back and forth through the Veils. Why do they limit themselves to these paths? Probably because they don't want to get shocked by the Veils? I don't know. It is hard to tell if this is a colonial creature or a single individual. Whichever it is, we should keep our distance to avoid those tentacles. Fine, I'll go the long way around. With all these orbiting polyps and strings, I am naming this creature the Deep Orrery. An ornate creature that casts a net-like arrangement of tentacles and polyps to shock passing prey into submission. So, basically jellyfish. I'm calling these abyssal sail shells. Those wide tail plates are instantly recognizable. Small dark creatures with a large translucent tail shell that allows it to move rapidly through the water, navigating the tangles safely. I very much thought that was going to be a dead end. Ah, I see. It just went in a loop around the rock. Well, I'm gonna run out of power. We seem to be through. No more wheels ahead. Ah, this disabled ROV, yes. Here, in the middle of this outcrop, an ROV. This one was carrying a supply cache, too. We can recharge and fill our oxygen. Let's access its map data. It seems like this ROV was disabled by the Veils, like the other one. This can't be right. The mapping scans report a large physical anomaly just north of here. From the data, it looks like a structure. That's impossible. Maybe the Veils fried the sensors? Either way, we should go check it out. I would go check it out, but my samples are full. Maybe now it'll let me dive to the bloom. Nope. heading north. What are we looking at here? It appears to be some kind of shaft cut into the bedrock. I can't see the bottom. Who made this? It looks like it's been here far longer than anything else. Going down. Continuing to go down. Stuff! These pale creatures are scraping patterns into the walls. What are they? Let's see what we can find out. This almost motionless polyp with its waving cilia is anchored to the metal plating. Its pale flesh is drained of color. Well, apparently I haven't been taught how to use this plasma torch yet. Oh. I'm not all the way at the bottom yet. Ping! Down. Ping! Now I'm all the way at the bottom. It's some kind of facility. What was happening down here? Why would somebody bury this place so deep? We have to get inside. We can use the torch to cut through this seal. Fire it up. I'm assuming this is automatic? Yeah, that seems pretty automatic. And that explains why I kept getting cut off at the bloom, because I hadn't gone through the tutorial. Whoa, what's this redness? Red sediment. The water is filled with red flakes, catching in the lamps from the walls, rusticles Hang in lumpen garlands. This place is huge. How the heck was it built down here? There's very little oxygen for the rebreather to recycle here, so we are running on reserves. Let's move. Ex Otero. Fragment. Massive breach. Life support will fail in 2 hours. Is there anyone from Baikal on this channel? Please respond. Those are Baikal markings. What was an exoplanet extraction corp doing here? I worked for Baikal. Minae worked for Baikal. They built the stuff. They built the base. They mine exoplanets, skim helium from gas giants. They helped drive forward humanity's expansion. If they discovered life, we would have known. Everyone would have known, unless something happened here. Something they didn't want anyone to know about. Dum dum dum! Scans suggest this creature is eroding the surface below through its cilia, absorbing nutrients from the oxidizing metal. Yes, I will gladly take a sample candidate. I can't see with you there. User H. Albright. Say again, Constantine did what? Harrison? Site 2 is breached, power is spiking. User Harrison. Deep retrieval needs more repairs. They need to stop pushing so hard. The artificers aren't going anywhere. They were pre-named artificers. Minae didn't name them artificers. She discovered that they were already called artificers. Sigurdsson. Site 2 is silent, and there's nothing from the Ophelos. Site 1 is off the grid. Where are the rescue teams? The polyp's flesh recoils at the barest hint of pressure, but no further movement or response occurs. User Mikami. Disobedience will be reported. Consider your next action carefully. Darn it, Koji, we are dead and buried here. User G. Jones. Nothing from the Orphelos, their feed just cut out. We are being erased here. Baikal is pulling the plug. Spirals have been etched across the surface, representing the polyp's path of movement at the rate of an inch per week. I'll call these slow masons for their careful glacial etching into the arcology's walls. They are hypnotic. Slow, colorless polyps found inside the arcology ruins. They trace spirals across the metal remains of the facility, feeding off it. Finally, a sample candidate. User Tsurata. No one is coming to dig us out. Constantine has cost us everything. The entry hall just breached. This is it. User F. Galarza. I'm sorry, Isabel, for what we did here. So cryptic. This place isn't a facility. It's a city. How many more died here? Those without dive recorders? Those buried under rock and sand? It makes my skin crawl. User S. Yato. I'm going to get some shut-eye. First geoengineering shift is in 4 hours. See you in 3. User K. Anderson. You don't know that, Jason. They are going to come for us. No one is coming. We both know that. User J. Opuli. I lied to get here, Kai, and now I'm going to pay for it. What do you mean? This isn't even my real name. That. Okay. More creatures. Brain coral. Earth originating species of coral from the families blah, 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 blah. They feed both through photosynthesis and filtering. Hard coral. Earth-born corals, these polyps build environments for themselves through the calcification materials deposited as their skeletons. Are those corals? They must have brought them from the ocean reserves on Earth. Nah, I'm going back so I can go up on that option. I feel like this is important. This whole facility, destroyed, buried, erased. Was this what Minae was looking for in the deep of the ocean? But how did she even know it was here? I feel like I'm swimming through other people's secrets. Well, you kinda literally are. The financial implications are massive. We never even came close to achieving this level of computation before. User A. Bindiak. I'm sure it's just a standard security drill, Mr. Fidanza. We will be able to return you to the other shareholders shortly. Somebody didn't make it home. I mean, a lot of somebodies didn't make it home, but, you know. Good night, Alec. Thanks for sticking around. Artificer skeletons. They were using them, harvesting them. The equipment here, they were building something, slicing and etching the artificer skeletons. But what? Can these geodesic spheres really have been valuable enough to build a whole arcology around? And then to bury it? User V. Kobach. Protect the specimens. These skeletons alone are able to correlate millions of qubits. They are irreplaceable. User E. Santiago. We have to power down. If the shielding is breached, it could blow out the whole facility. Start shutdown now. User L. Bosmans. The Artificers. With them we could rewrite life as we wish. We could rewrite it to endure, Lucas, to surpass us. That's creepy. User L. Fiorentini. Take the suit, Akari. Stop arguing. Without you, this project is dead anyway. Oki needs to survive. User A. Nomura. My little Minae, I'm sorry to leave you all alone. Sing a little for your mother. It's so quiet here. And now we have the missing link of how Minae got here and found out about it and blah 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 blah. The suit is tagged Akari Nomura. I don't understand. How? It's impossible. It's her. It's Minae's mother. This is why Minae came here. She was looking for her mother. She's been here a long time. Decades. Has Minae been looking for her all this time? God, Minae, why didn't you say something? Anything? I can't... Give me a minute. This is the same cylindrical casing as the one mounted on this suit. The same casing that houses you. Akari was building this. Building it from artificers. Building it with the machines in this arcology. She was building you. This is you. One of you at least. A draft, an earlier version, a prototype. Akari is your mother, your creator. Did you know this? Did you know about any of this? Nope. Then you forgot? You malfunctioned? God, I can't think. We need to go. I don't want to be here anymore. Please. Well, I'm not done exploring. Also, I don't think I can actually link with anything to get out of here. Well, that... Okay. Wait, could I still go up? I could. We are out. I don't know what to say. We are still in range of the ROV on the slopes. Call for pickup. Let's go home. Fine. You're back. I'm down in medical. I disabled the quarantine. It's beautiful in here. Oki, is that your name? I like it, despite the history. Listen, I don't know what you are thinking right now, but I wanted to say I trust you. I don't know what you knew about the arcology, about Baikal's history on this planet. Even your own history. But I do know that you helped me, you protected me, you guided me. I owe you for that, no matter where you came from. You didn't choose to be created, like any of us, but this place is your home. You are made from pieces of this ocean, from pieces of its past, at least. I'm learning not to be afraid of the past. I'm not afraid of her, either, of Minae, if that is her name now. I think she must have found something among those skeletons in the bloom, truly alien. It changed her. It continues to change her. But perhaps that is what is needed. Change. I found something I think you need to hear. I've been going through the archaeology data, and it wasn't the only facility on this planet. There were 2 other sites, 2 other Baikal facilities. We need to find them. Baikal was up to something on this planet, something bigger than just AI research. I don't want to look away. I want to see what Baikal did here with my own eyes. I have marked the site's coordinates on the dive map. We should be able to cut our way in. This is not about Minae anymore. It's about Baikal. It's about what happened here. It's about your history and the weight it carries. I'm ready when you are. I know you have been reading these. The access log shows someone has been in the file system of my terminal, and, well, by process of elimination, it has to be you. I don't mind. In fact, I suppose I have been writing these entries for an imagined audience anyway. Confessions, or maybe just a need to talk. We make a strange trio now. Me, a depressed xenobiologist who can't keep their mouth shut. You, an AI built from the remains of a sentient species. And your sister? Minae, who is now more plant than human. But as far as I can tell, we are the only ones on this planet who have any chance of finding out what happened here. I think I am starting to understand why Minae called me here. It was because she trusted me not to give up, not to let this go. Let's not disappoint her. Gee, now I can go to the bloom. And the other one was over there, which was another place I was trying to get to earlier but couldn't go because reasons. But I'm not done with the anomaly yet. So much exploration. things start turning red. Okay. I went up too early. That was... So I hadn't finished exploring the first floor yet when I decided it was important to go up. No, I definitely did that part. Because I went up when I found brain coral. G. Volkova. The Ophilos is going down? Arr, what are they doing to my ship? We are leaving. Now. Yeah... Not quite. There was just the two things up there. I vaguely remember that from last time. And then I take this path. Oh hey, it's that pipe. Definitely didn't get this log last time. User A. Batiev. I understand, sir. No, we are preparing to follow erasure protocols. The site is already sealed, with all hands present. Suspicious. Ah, this was just the alternate path. Okay. I thought I was missing a whole, like, southern section of this map, but that was stuff and things. Okay then. No. Down. Well, guess I'm going down. Just to be sure. Gotta come over here. Ooh. Look, that tank. It's filled with microbial growth. What was this place? Be careful. The water will be just as toxic as it is above in the bloom. User M. Diaz. Sir, Dr. Hesse just arrived from Site 1. Send him through. Constantine has full clearance. This is no lab. This is an industrial facility. These containers must have carried some vital resource for its operation. Fuel, perhaps? Onward and downward. These pipes, those tanks. This facility was outputting huge volumes of something into the planet's atmosphere. This has to have been a geoengineering project, a way of changing Gliessa's 667cc. But looking at this place, it suffered a total collapse. What went wrong? Well, I think we found the source of the bloom. User R. Engram. Maintenance on the South Hall is continuing. I'm seeing a massive pressure spike here. Control? User K. Hilu. Control? I'm slicing it before it cascades. Clear the reactor chamber. The bacterial outflow is about to hit critical. User Ellie Youngs. Yes, sir. Atmospheric density is increasing ahead of schedule. Please inform the board. They will be pleased. Here, this is where they controlled this place once. They were changing this planet, manipulating it. These vast tanks of engineered microbes were their tools. Algae changed the atmosphere of Earth billions of years ago. These creatures were meant to do the same. But by accident, or sabotage, this containment was breached. These idiots, they could have killed every last species on this planet, eaten up in a global bloom. Somehow the reef survived. Somehow the stocks held on. Tried to revert our mistake. Humans don't deserve this planet. We didn't deserve to find life. I've seen enough. Scan what's left and I'll take a look back at base. Let's find a way out of here. User C. Hesse. No! No! Oh god, the tank is breached! The artificers! I didn't mean... FTAR. Constantine? What are you... Step away from the console. I'm sorry. User B. Badajo. We are doing the artificers a favor. Despite all their abilities, they couldn't manifest this kind of planetary change. And this is the path that I've been trying to get to every time I do one of those super short dives. But clearly it was an exit, not an entrance. And now, I have linked back up with my uncovered map portion. Back online? Good. I've been working with the data we extracted from the facility. What they did there. It's terrible. They could have wiped out life on this planet. Baikal should have known better than to mess with the entire planet's ecosystem. The failure of the facility was catastrophic. The bloom dominated half of the planet. As far as I can tell, it wiped out the artificers. Think about those skeletons in the bloom. But the rest of the planetary ecosystem reacted somehow, resisted, pushed the bloom back. I don't understand how life could have adapted to the changing conditions so quickly, though. It's as if they evolved to meet the challenges of the bloom in mere decades. Impossible. Let's keep looking. There's another facility to investigate, out to the east. There has to be more to this. Well, I thought I had explored pretty daggone well, but apparently I didn't. My goal is to get this last biosample thing and then call it a night, because it's getting close to my wrap-up time. Okay, fun. Alas, the maps did not help me. The source of the bloom has to be down here. Doesn't make sense for it to not be down here. That is not exactly what I wanted to do. There's nowhere to go but up here from that point. Nothing that way. If I go over here, can I go up here? It looks like it. Right, there's no difference between going down. Wait, yeah, that one is down only, that one is also down only. The lamps, the old growth, this is where the bloom began. This is no native microbe. It is lab-grown, built to convert light into power and oxygen. A vast microbial fuel cell. But when it reached containment, I'm surprised anything still lives on this planet. Must have been devastating. Yes, let me have some oxygen, please. Ooh! No! I was there! Super rude. I was there and I had refilled my oxygen. I have to do the whole path again, but at least I know where I'm going. Through the strong currents. One more, and then I can shut off this oxygen because I don't need to go through more current. Save a little bit of my oxygen supply. Down. Finally. Now I can get out of here. Okay. That's it for tonight. No more samples. I just have to go explore there. So next week I will explore that and finish off my taxonomy, because I'm I'm clearly still missing some species since I have some samples that have not been analyzed yet because I haven't fully discovered the plant creature. I haven't fully discovered the creature on the map. Once I fully discover the creature on the map, then it creates a log entry, the base log entry in taxonomy, where it's just the first observations. But this observations page doesn't appear until I encounter X number of creatures on the open map. And once this log entry is started, then I can analyze each of the various samples associated with that creature. But clearly I have some samples here that are associated with creatures that I have not fully observed yet. It looks like I'm missing 2 because I've got 2 things for each creature. And they're both chitinous because there's a chitin plate and a brine shell. And a young carapace, and a shed tail, so chitinous creatures like crabs and things. Yeah, that's it. Ow, I have a slight headache. I need to take care of that. Geisha is curled up on the laundry pile and sleeping, so I will not disturb her. But, beats loot! Ooh!